New audio evidence was released in the Madeline Soto case, and it's audio evidence against her stepfather, Stephan Stearns. It paints an even worse picture of an already horrifying picture that was there, and we're going to go over parts of that audio in today's video. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. Master Roscoe's back there. He's gone the sofa. We just had our dinner, so he is cleaning himself. And my name is Paul. I'm sitting in front of the sofa, and I'm not cleaning myself, but I did just have dinner. Now, today we're going to be going over a couple of things. Some new information, evidence, that type of stuff has come out in the Madeline Soto case, and this is specifically against her. I even hate giving him the title of stepfather, to be honest. Her mother's boyfriend, Stephan Stearns, who has been charged with taking her life and numerous SA counts against Madeline. She was just turned 13. She was just a little child, right? And so this audio came out. It's very eerie to listen to, but also some new documents came out with some just grotesque information in them. So we'll quickly talk about those and then listen to that audio. Now, also before we really jump into it, for those who haven't followed this case, let's do a quick little 60-second overview. So Madeline Soto, she went missing. This is this year back in February. By March, her body was found. Now, what ended up happening, and is still happening, is her mother comes out, her mother's boyfriend, Stephan Stearns, and the story is, we took her to school and never saw her again, basically. Well, the we from her mother actually turns into it was just Stephan. And then it turns out that, yeah, actually she was passed out or deceased in pictures that the evidence showed that she was in the car, like cameras and stuff like that. He was saying she was sleeping, but she is already gone at that point. So they go through his phone, they do this, they find all these horrifying pictures of things that he'd been doing to her for years. He's arrested. They finally find her body, and so again, he hasn't gone through court yet, but it's not looking good. Okay, horrific things. Now, one of the big things in this case was the fact that the mother's behavior really irked a lot of people. And again, she's not been charged with anything yet, but it was just very odd. It felt like she was covering up for him. Now, I don't know her. I don't know him. I'm not privy to any information in the case. That's literally just a speculative opinion right there. But it's one that I felt was kind of, a consensus out there after we watched a couple of interviews by her. So that being said, that's kind of the overview of the case. So what we're going to be listening to today is some audio of him talking to detectives. And this is before he was arrested, this type of thing. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind when we listen to it, because this is what stuck out prevalent to me, is that they're over him. Okay, they know, right? They know, okay, what time it is. So they know what kind of monster they're dealing with at this point. And so it was very interesting to me just to hear how they're like cutting him off and like, letting him just dig his hole even deeper. Now, Court TV also got a hold of some documents that came out, and they were talking about them. And one of the big standout things in this is some of the interviews with the mother and whatnot. And basically it comes out in that she's talking about how, Stephan would sleep in the same bed with Madeline, and lots of major red flag behavior. I mean, this is obviously like, things of like, we like to cuddle and do all this kind of stuff as a family, and she always liked people to be around, and you can just see where it's going. And the picture is becoming, I don't want to say clearer and clearer, because obviously I don't know all the evidence yet. Just, know what we know from the sofa and what we've been seeing on TV and, the other channels and whatnot. But there's extremely concerning behavior on all fronts. Let me just say that in this case. And I guess I'll just follow that up with, I'm very curious to see if other people are charged with something along the way, and we'll leave it at that. But time will tell on that. And what I want to do now is just refer to a quick clip from that article by Court TV, go over it real quick and just talk about it. So it says here, you see it on the screen, it says that the detective showed one of the photos that they got from Stearns' phone to Jennifer. And I remember Jennifer is her Madeline's mother, Stephan's girlfriend, whatever. And it says here, Jennifer did not want to believe, redacted, and Stephan were engaged in that kind of activity. You see it on the screen. And so she didn't recognize anything in the picture, as if she was in denial. However, she became visibly upset. Now it goes further down here. It says when the investigators left her to go speak to him, her being Jennifer, and then Stephan being him, they found him asleep in an interview room at the sheriff's office. He told officers that Madeline wanted the family to all share a bed and that she always needed human contact when going to sleep. He referred to it as snuggling. Okay, this is the red flag behavior I'm talking about. And this makes sense right here when they talk about with the mother showing her a picture black and white. I mean, not black and white, you know what I'm saying? I'm being figurative here. You know, here is a picture, here is the evidence right here. And if she's like, what? I don't recognize that. Like, just blocking it out. So this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into probably how things went in the home. You know, this, again, my guess, it's speculative, it's not fact. I wasn't there, I don't know. But I'm just kind of going out on a limb there. God knows what Madeline went through is what we're getting at. Bless her heart. I just feel like a blind eye was turned into that monster. Probably could do whatever he wanted to, and clearly he did because of all the photographic evidence that's come out against him involved with situations like that. So that being said, that's what I wanted to talk about with that article, but let's go ahead and jump into the audio now. We're just going to listen to bits of it. I'm going to make some commentary along the way. So let's listen to the first clip.
I know that you already spoke to the other detective, right, about everything that kind of happened today. If you can just kind of go over it with us one more time, the timeline from like when you guys woke up and took her to school and all that.
So we woke up early. The plan was that we were going to get McDonald's breakfast on the way, so we made amazingly good time.
I don't mean to interrupt you, okay? Neither of us were here yesterday, so if you can be kind of like specific about like times and stuff like that, okay?
I wanted to stop right away for a couple of things. And before I say this, I'll say this. And if you've watched me before, you probably know what I'm getting ready to say. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not none of that fancy stuff. I ain't no cop. I'm not no body language expert, okay? So these are just my opinions from the sofa. They're sofa speculation. That being said, okay, when he starts off, to me, this is red flag material in these videos like this. And it reminds me of Jacqueline and Trezell. I can't remember their last name, but Classic and Sincere were the victims in that case. And when these perpetrators, alleged perpetrators, go on television and when they're asked a question, and this is what they do. Okay. Just what I did right there, you saw that. It was like, number one, annoyed, like, what's the story? Okay, here we go. That's the energy that immediately gave me, right? Like the exasperated. I can understand a little bit, like if it's an authentic situation, like, okay, so let me remember back. Okay, yeah, so this is what we did. Secondly, notice how they cut him off right away. Okay, just want to interrupt you. Sorry to do that, but we weren't here. We need you to get real damn specific. This, we made good time. What's that mean? You know what I mean? Like, what's that even mean? You know, we need times, because here's the thing, this is how they catch them. The times that he gives and the locations that he gives and whereabouts that morning that he gives don't match up. It doesn't add up. Okay, this is how they knew something was up. And they can look at evidence and see, well, hold on, you said you did this, but the camera says this. You said she did this, but it shows that her doing this in the car. You know, that type of thing. So let's keep going.
Woke up around 7:15, somewhere around there, which is an early start for us, but we had talked about getting McDonald's breakfast beforehand, so we wanted to make good time. We did make good time. We got out the door maybe 7:30-ish, 7:45-ish maybe. Got over to that area. She was asleep in the car most of the time, just snoozing until we got there. We got to McDonald's. We're close to McDonald's. I said, "You still want it?" She wasn't interested in the McDonald's anymore, so we continued on.
Please hold one golly jeeper in second. Two things. We made good time. We made good time. We made good time. She was snoozing most of the way. Well, at this point, detectives know by looking at the camera that her body was in an awkward, not normal position for a human body to be in, slumped over basically. So it is now, you know, again, not 100% on my end, but she was deceased at this point, right? We'll see more evidence as it comes forth to 100% confirm that, but that's what the authorities are saying, so that's what we're going to go with, right? Secondly, we got to McDonald's and she didn't want it anymore. A 13-year-old said no to McDonald's. I can't say no to damn McDonald's. At least a hash brown, right? This is my theory, and y'all tell me what you think. She was deceased in the car. When he probably went to McDonald's, you know, like maybe that was legit. He went there, and she was already deceased in there, and he ran through there as like an alibi or something. I don't know, or he could be totally making it up. But either way, those are two major red flags for me. Let's keep going.
And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. She prefers her mom's car, but my cars are, I guess, kind of hoopties. I get it. It's an image thing. But that was sometime probably between 8:20 and 8:40-ish, somewhere in there. It was along the stretch of the road that on the right side that has all the communities on it. Before you get to the overpass. You could see the overpass from where it was. So it was on that side, on that stretch of road, and that's where I dropped her off.
You see me over here shaking my head. This is what I'm talking about. He got too damn specific is what he did. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this whole thing about the being seen get out of the car. I went through it, most every kid that I know goes through this, and it's the period where you think that your parents are aliens and that you are the only person who has been stricken with the curse of parents, right? You're embarrassed of them. Anything they do is horrifying to you. And so things like getting dropped off at school, that type of thing, you're wanting to be cool. You're wanting to be independent. You're not wanting mom and dad, I love you. So he's using that, okay, as the, what do you call it, like the camouflage for the situation. Now, we already know this never even happened, right? He's completely making this up. Now, here's the other thing too. For someone that's over here talking about she always needed human interaction, she always wanted this, she always wanted that. Oh, but yeah, you know, she wanted us to drop her off around the block at school. She didn't want anything to do with us. And then when he says this, I guess the cars we drive are kind of hoopties. I get it. It's an image thing. The way he said that, and again, the way he said it, I don't know the man. I don't know what it's like talking to him. But there was like this, there was a sting to that, right? Like maybe that did come up at one point. Like there's a bit of a sting in his voice over it. Like he's pissy about it, right? And almost like shaming her, okay? And it's like, look, I totally get people just trying to put damn food on the table, right? And the parents could be insulted by that, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a kid thing, right? Kids go through that where they're embarrassed of their parents. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So he sounds bitter about it. But again, you hear the cop too coming up. They know he's lying, okay? How they're able to sit there, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, I'm saying in an admirable way toward the police. The way they're able to sit there and like, especially a monster like this, like let him just go on and on, like, okay, and not just come out of their skin. My hat's off to them. We last night in our members live chat rewatch for the who knows how many times the Sarah Boone interrogation video, and I really admired, well, both the detectives, but especially the female detective. I call her the lead detective in that video if you've watched it, because she just walked Sarah through it just like this, like okay, and then would stop her and confront her, but in a very nice professional, just matter of fact, you know, and you're sitting here like us as viewers jumping out of our chair like, you know, oh my God, with Sarah. But that again is why they're the professional police officers doing this, and I'm not. Let's keep going.
She said she was going to go wait for her friends. She was going to go find them and hang out and wait for her friends. And I asked if that was going to be okay. She said, yeah, it's fine. Kids get dropped off early enough as it is. It's not totally unusual for that to happen. It's just not usually that early that I drop her off. I do school runs every once in a while for her. I said, okay. Let her out. Have a good day. Love you. Thanks. Love you too. And I turned around and was driving away and was watching her in my rearview mirror to make sure that she was going where she was to go, and she was moving in that direction, but she was rummaging around in her backpack or something. What I assumed was probably headphones or something like that, but I find out later that she forgot her phone here, so she may have been rummaging for her phone.
It's the amount of details for me, okay? It's the amount of details. Look at how much he's walking them through. First of all, like, of course he has her phone, right? He can't leave the phone on her because they will be able to find her right away. Well, she left her phone here, you know, so she was going through her book bag, probably looking for some headphones, you know. Well, yeah, you know, it was early that I dropped her off. You know, it's a little bit too early. I mean, he's got his story cooked up in his world. He's got this story cooked up. God bless the little thing. I mean, I can't imagine what happened to her on the way to school. Whatever took place, we'll find out eventually. And obviously, we know what had happened to her before because of all the evidence. I mean, the man had the evidence filed away, like on it never ceases to amaze me with these things like this, cases like this and stuff like that, where the people document their crimes. File it away in a Google photo thing or a Walmart photo or whatever the case is for the particular situation. Never ceases to amaze me at this point, you know. And again, thank God they do, because it helps bring, thank God, right? Thank God they went through his phone and they found all this stuff, right? Thank God they went through Sarah Boone's phone and found her documenting what she did to poor George. Let's continue.
But she was still kind of making her way towards that direction, so it looked okay. It looked like any other day. And I just continued on.
After you dropped her off, what did you do?
They had talked to her for a minute. Made sure, is it all right that you're going early? Because it was still early. She said, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to hang out and wait for my friends to get there, which she does sometimes, so it didn't sound, outrageous or anything.
He's saying the same thing. He's buying time. He's avoiding. Because he knows he's got to account for all this stuff. Again, when you're lying, you have to keep up with it. And these kind of lies are major. Because I guess what happens is they get caught up in the moment. They do what they're going to do. And I'm talking about these perpetrators, people who do this, next level taking someone's life stuff. They do it. And then they have to make it make sense after. Well, they're being asked 100 different ways. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? And maybe it's then that they realize, oh, there's video cameras everywhere. I live out in the woods and assume I'm on video camera when I go to the mailboxes from somebody. It's just my assumption. And I get that because of the world we live in here where we follow stuff like we're more privy to that. We're aware of it. I look at myself and how many video cameras are around here, just the house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, sure, come on up here. You know what I mean? Like, it blows my mind that people don't think in that same way. Just think of Ring cameras alone. Just Ring cameras alone. Pretend other cameras do not exist, right? Except Ring cameras alone. You're on video in your neighborhood. You are, right? So this is what blows my mind. Anyways, let's keep going.
That was it. Told her to have a good day. I loved her. She told me she loved me too. I turned around to leave, and I was watching her in my rearview mirror, and she looked like she was walking in the right direction. She was rummaging in her bag a little bit.
I'm sorry, I have to say it again. He's literally repeating the same thing over. This is where I would not be I would have already come up out of my skin if I was this officer. But they know. They know. They're like, just let him talk himself into it.
Like I said, but still sort of just shambling in the right direction while she was doing it. So it looked normal. It looked okay.
Okay, and then what did you do after you left the area?
Thank you. Okay, that's literally wanted to hear that question so damn bad. I love notice how she did this. Okay, and what'd you do after that? She just redirected right back. I don't know what you call the professional term, redirect or whatever, when they go off on these side tangents and you redirect them back to the question. Okay, that's nice. So what'd you do when you left there? We're right back. We're not moving away from it. We're not moving away from the question of what did you do when you dropped her off? We know you're stalling. We know you're buying time. That's great and dandy that you did that. That's a good boy. You're going to get a cookie for making sure she was okay at the bus stop. What'd you do after that? You know what I'm saying?
I left to go to the local vape shop because I needed some more vape juice. They weren't quite open yet, so I ended up going back home. Waited about an hour or so and then went back and checked the vape shop again. It was open, so I got what I needed there and came back.
Do you remember what time you came home?
The first time was probably right around 10, close to it. And then I waited here and went back to the vape shop. Probably finished at the vape shop and came back home again a little after 11.
Okay. It took me a minute with the vape shop name. I was like, the what shop? Then on top of that, okay, now again, I don't have this in front of me, whatever. When was the first time, what time did you get home? You can tell he's like probably 10. Is the vape shop that far away? But then I went back out at this time. Well, they didn't. I was out of this, so I went back home. Now remember, this is kind of what Jennifer talks about. He went back out to do something, whether it was dispose of the body, get rid of stuff, whatever. He went back out. Okay, so this is his excuse that he's trying to say, right? He could say, "Oh, I gotta go get vape juice. I'm out of vape juice. I gotta go back out." That's what he's doing. But you heard the reason he, and again, I mean, I'm no professional. The reason he stalled and repeated, because you heard the difference in his voice, right? When she's like, okay, great, what'd you do next? You know, just the unsureness. It's like, yeah, because you're lying. When you lie, you have to keep up with a bunch of information that you don't know because you're lying.
And then what'd you do after that?
I had a couple errands to run over on 192. She was talking about making a BJ shopping list. She just wanted to make sure I was back in time for us to both go pick up. So I was visiting some card shops around the area on 192. I'm kind of a nerd, so we had a new trading card game release, and I was seeing what the situation was with it.
Do you remember what places you visited?
Yeah, Coliseum of Comics. Stopped by a couple Targets, and I was going to go to House Rules Games down by Oak and 192. But I didn't make it that far. I got a flat tire on the way.
Do you remember where you got your flat tire?
It was on 192. I pulled into one of those plazas somewhere. It's been about 10 years since I switched out a tire, though, so I made a lot of rookie mistakes and ended up pinning my thumb between the frame and the jack. Yeah, I'm lucky it's not a lot worse than it could have been.
I'm talking, this man has an excuse for everything. Made a lot of rookie mistakes, got my phone stuck, oh golly jeepers. He's got down now this whole thing. I'm a little bit of a nerd of trading card thing, so I went here, I went here, I went here. Now again, I talked about this in the live chat we did. We listened to some of this too. But this is my thing when we hear, not just him, but in these situations like this, where the perpetrator is asked about something, right? Now remember, the center of it is usually either trying to figure out what happened to their loved one or finding said loved one. And they're asked about something that could be very obvious if not found out very quickly. And their answer is, oh, I've stopped at one of the plazas somewhere over there. I stopped at a couple of Targets or whatever. And he'll get to this here in a second too as well, but it's like where did you shop? I don't know which one it was, but we can hop in the car. I know I can drive you there and point to it. Like, let's go right now. Do you have time? Let's go. Because at the end of the day, if that's going to get them closer, let's go. Let's mark me off the list. Let's find Madeline. That's the main thing here, right? Me going and showing you where the target is, I can't remember it. Let's go. Let's pull up on Google right now. I can do the map questing. Let's knock it out. Let's get it off the list is what I'm getting at. But they don't do that. They're evasive about it. They create more questions, right? Which slows things down because they don't want the answer to be found. They know the answer.
Do you remember the name of the plaza by any chance?
I don't.
Do you remember what stores were in this plaza?
It was like right before you got to Oak, though, so it was one of those little strips.
Okay.
I don't know, you've probably been asked already, but she's never ran away or been away for longer than a certain period of time, amount of time, nothing like that.
No, she's very dependent on us, so I don't think she'd know what to do if she did run away. She's not the type. She's a good kid.
Besides the ADHD, is she diagnosed with anything else?
Yeah, she was tested a while back and had some symptoms of autism, so she's potentially on the spectrum there.
Okay.
She was officially diagnosed with it when she was younger, and then she was retested and said, well, she shows symptoms of being on the spectrum, but maybe not full-on autistic.
The fact that he says she was a good kid makes my stomach turn. It literally makes you want to come after him. It's like he doesn't have the right to say that. You know what I'm saying? The way he says it in that regretful, she was a good kid. Why the was? You know what I mean? First of all. Secondly, in my mind, it's like he's envisioning what he did to her when he says that. And then, of course, he's going to come with it. Oh, yeah, she was tested. ADHD, autistic. What else you got? She has it. Whatever it is, she has it. You know, this is very much like J.P. Miller. Like, oh, y'all know Michael was unwell. I'm sorry, she was. That's what's like the salt in the wound, is like they take these innocent people's lives and then they like low key or high key, and I don't want to say drag their name to the mud, because if she is diagnosed with these things, it's not dragging her name to the mud, but they do these kind of things to, like, in their world, pivot them to look as almost like they're victim blaming them, like, oh, well, she has all this stuff, like, you know, so, I mean, you know, come on, you know, oh, Micah was unwell, I mean, come on, you know, it's like that energy. And again, it's like, no, you don't get to do that, like, because the ones claiming it's about other people, they're the messed up ones, right? This dude here is seriously screwed up in the head. JP Miller, we don't know if he did anything, you know, whatever, we're waiting, but we've seen the videos. It's not a cute look over there either, right? But that part, that's one thing that really, really angers me about these cases. Let's keep going.
When did you come back to help, Pardon?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, because you lived down south, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you come back up north to help her?
I just got here this weekend.
Do you remember what day it was?
Sunday was her birthday party, so yeah, it was the evening after her birthday party, Sunday.
Okay. Do you remember what time you got here on Sunday?
8:30ish, maybe.
Okay.
Just in time to make sure that she was doing all her nighttime routines. Waiting for her mom to get home.
Did you guys go anywhere last night? Was that media?
Maybe. I think Fox 35 or something.
Let me, if it is, let me tell him to use the paper now.
Okay.
I don't recall. You have to ask her if we went anywhere. I don't recall. I was so zonked out on Ativan at that point.
Okay.
He keeps saying that. He keeps saying, like, that's his, like, go-to for that. And then hearing him, like, the on again, off again, it's like, it almost feels like she almost could have escaped, right? If he had just stayed away, you know. And again, I guess in my mind, one thing that haunts me specifically with this case, I mean, it does all of them, right? But I guess specifically with this one, because it is like this on again, off again, it was like, what specifically happened that changed the direction of this day, that made him do this? Was she going to tell? Did he take things too far and it was going to be inevitable that he got caught? I feel like it was something of that nature, right? Something turned. Madeline was like, I'm going to tell her something, right? That took place that was going to change the directive of the secrecy that maybe he was trying to operate under by doing the things he was doing to her.
So it was a wreck. I don't.
And this would have been when?
Yes, thank you.
I don't recall us going anywhere last night, but honestly, at that point my brain was mush and I was on so many tranquilizers to keep me stable. It's just.
You said Ativan?
Yeah.
You make a U-turn, you go back to the McDonald's, but you said that she still doesn't want the McDonald's.
Still doesn't want it. She was just going to eat the Danishes that I had given her.
So you're going up here now, still northbound on Jongyang Parkway. Mm-hmm. You make a left at Town Center this time.
Town Center, and then make a
right
right onto, yes.
And then you drop her off around like...
Dropped her off around halfway up the road there.
Okay. So keep in mind, all of this is still northbound.
Okay.
Right? You're still northbound on Jongyang Parkway.
Northbound.
So why is your car seen going southbound at 8:10?
Go drop the damn mic on that one. Been waiting to hear that right there. Been waiting for that. Absolutely love these moments. Live for them, okay? I mean, I really do, because it's like the cry for justice, right? Because it's like you feel like he's getting away with it. He's getting away with it. He's saying this stuff, and then it's like, bam, right? They bring this on him. This is the thing that he didn't account for. Again, I go back to this. Whatever happened that morning, the night before, whatever it was, whenever he took her life, had to override common sense of, I'm going to be all up on camera. Right? So that's where I'm wondering, was she going to tell something like this? Because again, they have him like, well, you're doing this. You said they let him walk himself through it. Why were you going this way this time? Now there's a wrench in the system. Now he has to recalculate his story.
I'll show you what location it is. McDonald's is over here. Mm-hmm. At 8:10, your car is seen going southbound at this intersection. So meaning going toward Kissimmee.
I had forgotten something. I had forgotten my gate clicker. I'm sorry. I forgot. I had gone back to the house real quick after we left because I forgot my gate clicker.
The gate clicker. That's right. We forgot about that. We forgot about the gate clicker. That makes total sense, doesn't it? You see what I'm saying? Now, I'll give him this. He's quick. That was a good one. The gate clicker. That was a good one. Imagine living with this. I find myself saying this all the time. See, whenever we do stuff like this, I put myself in the shoes and imagine myself like living with someone. Like, imagine this guy right here. Again, I use this example all the time. Who left the milk out? Something completely not harmful. Oh, I did it. Sorry. Imagine that incident with him. Imagine the gaslighting and lies that would come from him. Well, I didn't do it. That damn milk mustache. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They will drive you crazy. And clearly, the things that he was doing was way beyond just regular narcissisting, right? I mean, this is heinous, horrible things that ended up in this situation.
I actually had to go through the front gate and use my parking pass to grab my clicker. So it was the wrong time. I'm sorry. Like I said, I was guesstimating these times. I'm not a morning person.
I don't think I have any other questions. Do you,
I
Louis?
don't know where my head was yesterday. It was so far up my backside.
That's okay. We understand. In the meantime, while we're waiting for all this to get sorted out, I am going to hold on to your phone, okay? I'll give it back to you when we're done. Okay? Do you have any questions for us?
How long are you gonna need my phone? That's
I'm not sure. I'm waiting for my supervisor to call me.
my dad. No, it's just my dad's using that to get a hold of me and get updates.
They can call Jen's phone.
Okay.
Did the other detective give you his business card?
I believe so.
Okay, well, here's mine in case you want it for any reason.
Okay.
Okay? Do you swear that everything you told us is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. I know it's a little hectic right now.
That part right there, the phone. Okay, let's talk about that. We're going to take your phone. Any questions for us? Okay, now here's the thing. We've just put yourself in this frame of mind that your kid's legitimately missing. The cops are going to take your phone. And do you have any questions for us? The first thing that comes to mind, how long are you going to have my phone for? I was waiting for him to be like, I've almost beat the next level in Candy Crush. Like, literally, okay, like he's that disconnected. Well, it's just my dad is, he's going through whatever. They can call Jen's phone. I love that. That's the most obvious answer. They can call Jen's phone. We're trying to find Madeline. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how any logical person is thinking, right? But the cops know at this point, right? They know. Like, they know, right? They've done this enough. Again, I'll give it to him. He's quick. I'll give the man that. He's quick, okay? It's just my dad. And you need to see, here's my card if you need it for any reason. I'm sorry. I know it's hectic right now. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. They know. Here, my head was so far up my butt, my behind yesterday. Let me guess, the Ativan, This case right here is so vile and so horrendous. This is pure evil right here. This is Michael Myers evil. If you've watched the Halloween franchise, you talk about like, this is an evil that we've never seen before. He even has eyes. He even has Michael Myers' eyes. I just envision poor little Madeline in that apartment or house, whatever it was they lived in, doesn't matter. The tension. Him staring you down as you did normal things in there. How heavy his presence had to be. The mother, and this is alleged, I don't know, I wasn't there, blinders on. The unsafe feeling in your own space, in your own home. Oh, he's coming back this weekend. The dread you would be filled with. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was going through. As like a 9, 10-year-old, and however old she was when it started. We definitely know 13, right? But it had gone on for years. That's what she was going through during those years in high school. It's awful. And so then to hear him just up here, just lie about it, but we've also seen the video evidence of him sitting there crying. The mom was consulting him sitting there crying about her being gone. I'm like, this guy's next level, okay? I mean, he knows how to cook it up. So again, my big things in this case are I'll just say it this way. I'm waiting to see if anyone else is charged with anything. And we'll leave it at that. With him, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I can't believe he's still breathing. Okay. Even in county jail, wherever he's at right now, I can't believe he's like, okay. Now, you know they got him on lockdown. Okay, but this is so vile, these charges. Y'all. Nope. You know the second, and again, he has not gone through court. We don't know what's going to happen. But let's just go on the assumption that he survives to be convicted or plea out, whatever. Y'all, this does not bode well. Okay. That yard, please. They're already waiting for him. You already know that the guards will just throw him to the wolves, right? I mean, this is how this goes, okay? Like, this is just a level of violence. And again, it breaks my heart for Madeline to sit there and think about, like, watching the way the mother interacted with him on the interviews they did, stuff like that. Just how helpless she had to feel, you know? Because he didn't have to, I mean, I just feel like with him, all he had to do was present a little bit of a lie. And it was like, okay, that's good enough. You know, we don't want to know. We want to put blinders on. We want to be blind to what's going on. And unfortunately, Madeline paid the ultimate price for that. So I'll get off my soapbox. I do appreciate you watching. If you are still watching, let me know what you think or don't think. I mean, this is just one of those where it just kind of is what it is right now. It's just horrible and sad and heartbreaking. Yeah, but I am curious, I guess, to hear the Sofa Squad's opinion on the mother. And I'm not trying to like go after her or anything like that, but just in the context of, do we think somebody else will be charged? What do we think of this? You know, where do we think this is going? So anyways, that's it. I do appreciate you watching. Mr. Roscoe says thank you. He finally quit giving himself a bath, but he does want you to drop some sofas off in the comment section, so we'll have a place to sit and talk about this case, all the other cases we talk about here, and until we meander our way down there, we'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. Also, if you're looking for merch, be sure to check out my Teespring store. I'll put that up here. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.